So I don't have enough memory to make a 11.5 minute video, which is kind of a good thing. It'll help stop me from making 20 to 30 minute video like I get in the habit of. As I was talking about, um, which by the way, my symptoms were getting so bad that I took just a very small amount of diazepam since symptoms were coming back on. I'm still trying to figure out what I need to jump back up to get rid of my symptoms. Just took a tiny 2 milligram tablet. It's the smallest available tablet in the United States, and they're good for tapering off of slowly. You can even cut those in half to 1 milligram. Cut when you're tapering down. Taper down a milligram if you want every 2 weeks or more, so you don't notice the withdrawal effects. Slightly more relaxed, still having symptoms. I know the diazepam for me usually takes 30 to 45 minutes to even kick in, and that's for like a 14 milligram dose like I took earlier. I'd made it all the way down to 7, but I was just going too fast. And that's crazy. If you talk about the equivalencies of other benzodiazepine medication like lorazepam slash Ativan, 10 milligrams of diazepam is equal to 1 milligram of that, and clonazepam is even lower. 10 milligrams of diazepam is equivalent to half milligram of clonazepam slash Klonopin. So when, for people that aren't familiar with this medication, when I talk about taking 14 milligrams something, don't let the bigger number fool you. It's still a small dose. If you equate my diazepam dose to the clonazepam dose that I used to be on, I was up to 2.5 milligrams a day. So that's 45 milligrams total that I was on. And for a couple of days I tried out 3, and that was actually too much for me to handle. It almost forced me to pass out, because if you take too much of this class medication, you can go into it can literally put you in a coma. So I was talking about what was happening during this crazy psychological episode. I was laying down, even though all this crazy stuff was happening to me, I was just trying to relax. I have, my patient handbook back there, withdrawal symptoms. I just thought, hey, my brain needs to relax. If I just fall asleep, I'll maybe wake up and it'll be better. But my memory did not serve me well, because I thought that the last time when I was withdrawing from clonazepam way too much faster than this, in larger increments, much larger increments. When I tried to do that, I woke up with my brain on complete overload. So I didn't really suspect that was going to happen, since I was on a better taper medication, the only recommended taper medication, and if you don't have crazy side effects, and much slower increments, a little bit slower, 9 days versus 7 days. But it was just smaller increments and better medication that counted. I remember I had my lighter blanket on me, and I was starting to feel a little overheated while I was trying to relax and go to sleep. And I kind of got overheated pretty fast, and I started to feel like I was going more and more crazy. And I remember I usually, up until lately, had been hot, and the air conditioning unit is wrapped around in my living room. I don't feel like getting up right now, because of how bad I feel. Went around to the air conditioning on blast. stood in front of it for a little bit until I felt like too out of it to stand up. I even was like little. I even was kind of curious because a lot of times I have my blinds closed. Every now and then I'll open one or two of them, maybe like one in here, one in the living room. But put the air on full blast and then laid on the other couch. And thought that maybe the cool air would help me relax, and of course that didn't. My brain just kept feeling like it was going on more and more overload. And I sat in the living room with my iPhone in my hand, even though it's out of service. I can still dial 911, which I have 2 backup other phones to make regular phone calls, by the way. I sat there with the phone in my hand for 30 minutes, and I was so disoriented and out of it, I couldn't make the decision to just press the numbers, 911, hello, operator, going crazy here, I need some paramedics right away, I need to go to the ER. I was confused, didn't know what was happening to me, and I became frozen, which this has happened to me before on a couple occasions. I remember one time my mom showed up. Last similar thing to this that happened, my mom showed up. I called her first instead of calling ambulance, and I became frozen to where it took me like forever to like put a sock on and then put another one on and then put each shoe on. I would just like become frozen. My mom would be like talking to me like I was mentally retarded, like, come on Brock, you can do it, just put your shoe on. It was even more embarrassing before that. Couldn't even put on a sock for the longest time. And here's hoping I don't actually become mentally retarded after all this, or if I haven't already reached that point. Some might say I have. So after 30 minutes, I've started to like snap out of it just slightly enough where I'm like, oh, boom, oh, hey, I gotta call 911, boom, boom, boom. Hello, operator, here is kind of what's happening to me. I need some paramedics right away. And at the time, I didn't told her, I didn't even, it wasn't even like my typical phone call where, hey, I feel like I'm going to pass out. But I remember I hung up, and usually I feel relieved, the like paramedics are on the way, and then I'm going to get help, and it calms me down a little bit. Start walking around the living room back in here. As soon as I reach that side of my couch, it was like from my feet and up, standing up, it was what the side effect from anxiety attacks they call like the fear of impending doom, where you get like scared out of your life and then you start to have crazy panic or anxiety attack. And at the same time, I felt like my vision was like going out and everything was like starting to get blurry and kind of go black, like I was going blind. And then I felt like I was just going to pass out. I literally felt like all the blood just dropped to my lower body and out of my head. And I ran back. I left my phone in the living room. I ran back and called 911 again. And I was freaking out, having a crazy anxiety attack. And I said, hey, it's me calling back. And I said, hey, I just called, and I told her I was having a major panic attack and felt like I was going to faint. And told her I felt like I was going to faint before the paramedics were even going to show up. And usually it takes paramedics a few minutes to get here, even though they're just a little bit of ways down the road. As it was like, as soon as I said that, she said, as she was telling me, don't worry, they'll be there soon. I guess there were police officers in the area overhearing the 911 call, and they, luckily everything kind of came together once my neighbors were outside the window around the corner, sitting out front. Two cops pulled up together, and neighbors let them in. There's a security door, and cops showed up, paramedics showed up right behind them, amazingly, and running out of time here, but my door was unlocked. I had set on my 911 call that the door was unlocked and they could come right in, so they just came right on in. It was kind of funny because even though I was having like one of the worst experiences of my life, they were like, I think they said like Circville police, and came on in like it was a drug bust or something, or a crime bust. Oh. But I'll go ahead and talk about what happened after that in the next video.